Good morning. I forgot to video first thing. It's a very typical Monday morning, just not ready. Forgot to make lunches, so I had to do that first thing this morning, so I've just been rushing around. Just, rushing around all morning, just feeling behind on stuff. And it's just, not the kind of start of the week you want. It just makes you feel like it's not going to be your week. So, that's a bit better because I'm actually by a window. So we just have to see how it goes. I'm aware that stuff was kind of short at the weekend, but then again, sort of helps being short. Some of the other stuff gets a bit long, I don't know. It's just sort of hard fitting this round life at the minute, but we'll see how we go. We'll keep ploughing on. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, and I'll see you later. Good evening. It is raining. Pretty standard British weather. Sort of talking in work today about sort of when do we think it will start getting properly cold, and that's kind of a sort of a judgment call on when it's cold, or I suppose what is a absolute undeniable fact that it is cold is when you start getting ice on the windows first thing in the morning. I think really that starts sort of consistently happening sort of around about Halloween time normally. Well, winter officially is December through to February in this country. I think it really sort of kicks in end of October, start of November, really. And then I don't think it really sort of releases its grip till you start getting into April. Typically British of me talking about the weather. And to be honest, it's a comfortable subject, really, isn't it? Unlike something like mental health and, for guys, feelings. I don't know whether it's a society, something that society is sort of imprinted on it, or whether it's the way we're wired up as a gender. But we don't talk about our feelings. We feel awkward talking about our feelings. I'm going to hold my hand up and say that my emotional intelligence is rubbish. I quite often struggle to actually sort of work out how people are feeling. Obviously, when they're very obviously angry and very obviously upset, it's easy for me to tell. But it's sort of like it does sometimes take to the extremes for me to actually be able to work it out, unless someone tells me. And I can sometimes misread people's emotions as well. Obviously make social interactions a little bit more difficult, and it can lead to me saying the wrong thing unintentionally, or it's just I will say things without realising that it can have a knock-on effect to somebody else. I can say it, without meaning anything by it, and it can cause offence or upset purely because I just don't realise. I've gotten a little bit better at it as I got older. Also another bit thing is with the emotional intelligence is understanding my own emotions. And the fact that I don't always understand what I'm feeling or exhibit a great deal of control over those feelings. And it does tend to mean that I sort of get worked up to a point and then sort of lash out, not sort of physically, but sort of like I say stuff, sort of the whole, almost sort of like throw my toys out the pram kind of reaction to something. And it's usually not that situation that I'm throwing my toys out the pram at, it's a variety of things that just sort of built up, and then that's sort of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. And I don't always sort of pick up on the fact that these kind of feelings and emotions are sort of building up inside of me until it's sort of too late, and I don't sort of articulate them either very well or at all. I just don't talk about it, because while I am not a manly man, as anyone who knows me, and even if you don't know me and watching this, you can probably tell, it's still sort of that whole perception of, it's not something that's talked about. Same as sort of today, I've been feeling quite low and just drained and just sort of really down. I can't sort of really pinpoint as to why. It could be the fact that it's so grey out, or it could be a whole host of other factors that are bringing me down. And sort of saying this on here because I know not many people watch. It's sort of hard to sort of get these kind of things off the ground, and it's sort of, you want, if anyone it does watch it, well, if nobody watches, why do you bother? And sort of like, for me, doing this, sitting in the car and just talking where no one can interrupt, and I can just sort of get the thoughts and feelings out, it's kind of cathartic. I can say it, I don't need anyone to come back with anything. I don't particularly want it. I just sort of want to get the thoughts out and just be done with it. And in some ways I'm feeling a little bit better for saying that I don't feel happy, I feel a bit down, and just sort of getting it off my chest. It just doesn't, it did feel like there was something sort of, sort of half like there was a hole there, half like there was something sat on there, and sort of just sort of saying, I feel down in myself. That sort of helped. So I can, the excuse I give as to why I'm poor with my emotional intelligence is, I read somewhere that the sort of gene that decides your mathematical ability, and when it comes to pure number, I do like to think that I am at least a little bit above average in terms of my ability, but that same gene also decides where you sit on the autism spectrum, which is why you have the misconception that people who are autistic are good at maths, and why your top level mathematicians, physicists, scientists in general, their social and emotional skills are somewhat lacking. So, you know, one of the things about autism, you can't really look people in the eye. You can't work out people's emotions. You can't work out your own emotions. So, that's the usual excuse I give. You know, there's 7 types of emotion. There's 7 types of intelligence. One of them is, you know, what people refer to as book smarts. There's the emotional intelligence, your social intelligence. So when people try to say they're not intelligent, they're only thinking about that one intelligence, that book smarts. But just because you're book smart doesn't mean you're emotionally intelligent, you're socially intelligent. And sometimes we do focus too much on that book smart intelligence rather than everything else, the more rounded view of the individual. I'm going to leave it there. It's over 10 minutes now. Quite a heavy one today. But, you know, lovely for you to watch on a Tuesday. Alright. Speak soon.